So this is the self-development with tactics book. So today we once again gonna go ahead with Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus, or Marcus Aubrey as far as I remember. It's a pretty cool and amazing book about nutrition, and now it's also gonna be about binaural things, which is something that's pretty interesting and something that I wanted to talk about. So it's coming in handy. Why? And we're also gonna talk about training today, which is also pretty fine, pretty nice to have a look at what he says. If he is able to give me and or you some pretty crazy and good tips. I'm indeed looking forward to that. But after the intro, as always, because we're always doing it in that way. Just remember that I'm actually sitting on my, not blanket, it's not a blanket this time, it's something else. So I'm gonna have it there and hope that it is gonna let me, it is fine, I guess. But yeah, let's actually have a look at it. I'm not gonna make such a long recording today for both episodes, so I hope that I'm gonna be quite fast, because I feel like that I've wasted a lot of time today, which I've probably also done, and I don't like the feeling, I really don't. So we're just gonna go ahead with the binaural power nap. Sometimes I suspect that if most people snuck out after lunch and stopped working, it would have no visible impact on national productivity, because for so many people, nothing gets done after lunch anyway. It is, by the way, something that I'm seeing as well quite. High doses of caffeine for cognitive tasks or even motor performance. They have been shown to improve logical reasoning, reaction time, and immune function. But it is not something that good, isn't it? My favorite study, though, is a 28 British experiment in which they compared a nap, a cup of coffee, and more nighttime sleep to see what would happen to people's afternoon energy levels and concentration. The nap won. Data aside of all the biohacks in the world, if I had to personally choose to keep only one, it would be my Binaural Beats. And it is something that I have been also trying. And I'm not quite sure about that. I really am not quite sure if they indeed work. But if he says that, and I think I gotta try it out today, because I feel like today is a day where I just really need to get shit done more than I normally wanna do, even though I've just done quite a bit in the morning already. So yeah, let's see. You can find Binaural Beats for sale online or on YouTube, but to get you started, I have hosted 2 of mine for free at aubreymarcus.com/beats, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. Pick a time in the early afternoon, lock and load your Theta Waves Binaural Beats track, find a cool quiet place under a tree outside, Isaac Newton style under your office desk, Castano style, in your car with the AC on, cabby style, it doesn't matter too much. Set your alarm for 30 minutes, hit play on the Binaural Beats track, and close your eyes. So I thought that I'm listening to it while I'm working, and it is also something that I've tried to do. Because the problem that I'm seeing there is, if it is not working, then I've wasted another 30 minutes. Which is quite a lot of time, quite a lot of time where I would have been able to do quite some shit. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm gonna try it with actual sleep. Maybe I'm gonna just do something else. Maybe whatever. But maybe I should try it out and see whether it is working or not. Because it might just be good. If I then can concentrate way better after fucking lunch, which is, by the way, also something that I'm struggling with. And I always thought what's going on with me? Why am I not able to concentrate that good? And yeah, this is also why I just tend to do things in the morning. The problem is I tend to do maybe the wrong things in the morning, which are, working out, not necessarily something bad, because I want to get shit done, and I do not want to have to think about I have to work out today and shit like that. I don't like that. But yeah, anyway, but just because we're talking about working out, the next thing, chapter 10, is going to be about training. Unconventional training covers the use of the kettlebell, steel mace, sandbag, battle ropes, steel club, barbell. You can breathe a sign of relief now, my meathead friends. And the most old school of them all, body weight. Of them all, I'm sorry. While it is possible to divide up a workout in myriad different ways over the course of a week, month, or 12-week fight camp, for the purpose of this book, we want to create an ideal, option-filled, unconventionally 50 minute workout that trains multiple kinetic systems targeting a series of functional health priorities that you can repeat with slight variations 3 or 4 times every week, which I really, really like. I like 50 minutes because I think it is enough time. 60 minutes might just for some people be too much, and 45 minutes or 40 minutes might be too low. So I think 50 minutes is actually a pretty nice mark there. But also, I like body weight. I normally do really a lot of body weight. I try to do just as much body weight as I can, but I always have to consider, like, does it work for me at this point? Since I have been training for 4 years or some shit, and I do have some strength and I do have some experience and I do have some whatever. So should I use weights to progress more? And I've come to a place where I just think like, well, let's just do both. I'm gonna do weighted body weight exercises, and it is working quite fine, just some, especially when it is about some squats, there you gotta really have to add up some weight. And I've also tried to do that, and I've also done that. It's been fine. It's not that of a nice thing to work out really heavy, as I've seen, with a lot of gear and stuff, and especially when you're just using some bags and some other shit, and you're just doing it in some really unconventional way, then sometimes it can be indeed not that nice. But something that I also want to point out, 4 times a week, 3 times a week is something that I also pretty enjoy. It always depends on, what split you're having, if it is a full body split, if it is like just upper body, lower body and whatnot. I, by the way, do upper body and lower body. So on one day, I'm going to have chest triceps and back biceps. And on the next day, I'm going to have abs and legs. And that's quite it. Yes. Durability, mobility plus flexibility, 15 minutes. The goal of mobility and flexibility practices is to live pain-free and continue functioning for a long time to come. If you do nothing else, just getting up, moving around, putting your joints through a full range of motion and massaging out your muscles will increase your durability and lead to a longer, vibrant life. Yes, you can use some bowls therefore, to just massage your muscles, or some black rolls. I do actually have one, but not able to find it, and it hurts. It's not nice, but it's cool. It works. Cardio, 10 minutes. Our focus with 10 minutes of steady state cardio in your workout is to get the heart rate up. So when you begin to tax your muscles in the rest of the workout, you're putting enough hormetic stress on them to produce greater endurance without increasing the risk that you will never come back to the gym again. And it is also just a nice thing. Do some cardio. It is important. It's good for your vascular system. It is good for your system in general. And you're also going to feel better, which is really something that I should be working on, by the way. The next thing is going to be muscular endurance for 8 minutes. To train muscular endurance, unconventional tools work great. The impact on controlled range of motion, rotation, which we will do in all movement, and multi-directional, multi-angular movement is immense, while also offering a generally lighter resistance load rather than a maximum heavy lift for higher repetition in a more sustained period of work. So what I'm seeing there is that he's really, really thinking about the structure, which is something that I appreciate, and also about the length. And of course, if you do want to not have such a long workout, you gotta have to make it a little tiny bit more complex, which he's also doing. I think when you're always having a rotation in every single movement, as he says, then it is indeed more of a complex workout. So yeah. Then strength, 5 minutes, and power, 3 minutes. Power is the final tier, the tippy top of the pyramid. If strength is when force acts against resistance to create movement, then power is the rate or speed at which that force is enacted to create the movement. You simply need to develop enough power to draw on where you need to sprint to the bus, jump out of the way of a bicycle, or defend yourself if necessary. Sprinting, plyometrics, and unconventional tools like bell ropes are all great, easy, low-skill ways to train full-body power development. What's going on there? Okay, I'm sorry. Bodyweight, basic to intermediate. I see. So the first thing was whatever. Good. So bodyweight, basic to intermediate. Cardio, steady state 10 minutes. Run, bike, dance, row, swim, jump rope, shadow box. Pick any one or any combination and go with it. I sometimes do shadow boxing. This is also one of the reasons why I'm having this towel there, because I'm using it as a just boxing bag. which, you should really, really focus on your shoulders there and really focus on hitting it. And not hitting it just too much because you're gonna fucking punch the closet, and also not just ripping off your fucking shoulder, which can happen if you just do it in a very bad way. And also really something to think about. Mobility 10 minutes. The following drill should be performed in a circuit fashion for as many rounds as possible in the allotted time. Alternating split jump for max height, 10 seconds followed by 20 seconds of rest and 6 sets of that. Then frog push-ups. I don't know what frog push-ups are. Well, anyway, 5 seconds down and 5 seconds up. So it's a 5 seconds cadence, as people say, which is 5 sets of 3. Alternate between the following 2 exercises: 4 sets plank, 40 seconds, and then 20 seconds rest. Sit through and 40 seconds then and 20 seconds rest. Stretching, release 5 minutes, kneeling hip flexor stretch, and then kettlebell intermediate to advanced. To really take your training to the next level, you'll need additional resources beyond this book. Check out onitacademy.com for some ideas on where to get started, which is basically the company, or by the way, the company of Aubrey Marcus. I think it's Aubrey. But yeah, I quite like it. It seems to be really, because I'm not seeing a lot of rest, which is something that I like personally. This is also one of the reasons why I'm doing supersets, because I do want to sweat, When I'm just working out, I do want to sweat. And I do want to feel like that my heart is going. I do want to feel that I'm actually doing something. I don't want to just, lift some weights and then that's quite it. But of course, if you're lifting really heavy weights, then you're going to feel that. And you're also going to feel that in your system. And you're probably also going to breathe relatively heavily. But, I'm more to the athletic and more to the athletic endurance stuff. Even though I'm just really not good at endurance, I just, I want to feel athletic. This is my point, It's not about endurance, really not, forget about that. At least for me, like, even though it is smart, and I also like to just ride my bike and shit for 2 hours or some shit, when I'm having the time, of course, and yeah, that stuff. The 11th chapter, and this is probably gonna be the last one, I don't know. Reset and reconnect. It actually matters a lot less what you do and much more that you simply do something social. Okay, whatever it is, be around people and be present while doing so. Choosing to intoxicate after training is potentiated by the fact that you are likely going to be mildly dehydrated, meaning that you're going to have less blood volume. This means that the same amount of active ingredient in your blood will have a proportionally higher concentration. With alcohol, you're going to have nothing in your stomach to slow down the absorption rate, so you won't need as much to drink to get the buzz you want. And with liver glycogen, whatever, levels too much lower after workout, the sugars in alcohol will metabolize easier, which means that a glass of wine is not that bad for you at all. Maximum bang, maximum bucks. But 2 or 3 can send you down a less than conscious path. Well, yeah, I've actually never thought about it in that way, but I also wonder. Like, I do not want to suggest that. I do not want to suggest people to work out and then immediately afterwards, because it is the smartest thing to do, just drink some fucking alcohol. Like, I don't know. I mean, alcohol per se and building muscle, they are not the biggest and baddest, combination. Let's put it like this. So I don't know. I do also think that, your body has to break down the alcohol before it can do something else, i.e. just building up muscle, which is also a process. So I'm not quite sure about that. I really have to check that, and you should really check that as well and validate whether this makes sense. But yeah, but I understand, like, having a glass of wine with a good body and stuff, it's cool, I guess. I'm actually not that of a wine drinker. Maybe I've just drinking bad wine, could also be the case, definitely. Well, anyway, since it's the perfect time to enjoy a glass of wine or take a few puffs of cannabis occasionally, I'll go there too. Or drink a cup of kava, the relaxing herb they drink in Fiji, or even light up a cigar. This is a signal for right now I'm clocked out and off duty. If you don't like any form of intoxicant, then maybe grab a stevia soda. Stevia cream soda is the best, and just enjoy the moment. The key is to create the conduit to connection. Find yours, and not only will you tune your body to the key of yourself, but you will open up in ways that make reconnection, with your tribe feel like second nature and make loneliness feel light years away. First of all, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. This sentiment came from every single male patient she cared for, every single one. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. So it is now about regrets, I guess. And the thing is, most often it's actually the things that we didn't do that we are regretting. You know, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I just take my chance? Why didn't I try it out and all those things? So I don't know, which is a thinking combination with the fact that fear is just the dumbest fucking shit there is in a lot of ways. Not in all ways. I don't want to say that you should neglect fear and that you should whatever. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. But in a lot of ways, it is preventing you from trying out things that might be really relevant to your life, that can really maybe also change your life to the good, you know. But, you know, of course, maybe also to the bad. Like, if you just are feared of jumping out of a plane and you do that and you die, then, or just hurt yourself, don't have to die necessarily, then it's not good, obviously. Then just listen to your fear, or you should have listened to your fear. But I don't know. The second one, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Our connections bring the dance to our life, and yet we find ourselves with too little time to enjoy these moments. Yes, indeed. And it is a pity. It really is a fucked up thing, you know? Really, and, you know, this is something that comes from my fucking heart, to be honest. Care about the people that are around you. Just had to say, I'm sorry, by the way. Care about the people around you and really try to spend as much time with them as you possibly can. Of course, you shouldn't also be like, okay, you know, I'm going to spend as much time as I can with my buddies and therefore do nothing else. You know, you're also not going to necessarily be happy, you know, so you really also should have a look at your long-term happiness, which means that do things for your long-term happiness, whatever it might be, which is going to be including, okay, hanging out with your buddies and doing this and doing that. Of course, something that I also do want to point out is that if you really want to do something in your life, if you really want to build something, then maybe there's not that much time in certain periods of times for hanging out with your buddies, going to parties, doing whatever the fuck. So, yeah, really also something I think to think about. Yeah. So I don't know, like, I think always mapping your actions to your ambitions and to your dreams and to your goals makes sense. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the episode there, and it is loading, of course it is loading. And afterwards I'm probably gonna learn, even though I have to do some maths work, but I feel like I just need to memorize that shit. Like, it's not only about memorizing, which is something that's quite good. On the other hand, I just also don't feel like learning it then if I don't have to memorize it. If it is like just, yeah, I mean, I get it and I've already got it and stuff, then yeah, I don't know. It's strange and it is fucked up, I guess. But yeah. I like actually my haircut today. I don't know how I've got that in that way because I'm normally not having it. Even though it is just really not perfectly in the middle, it's just some shit. But I don't know also how to fix that. This is kind of the other problem. Well, yeah. Yeah, how are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Well, you know, the quest of the day, I could actually just also go ahead. The quest of the day is, can you do something? Can you build something? Can you make something that you know is gonna make somebody's day better or make somebody's day? Yeah, and with that being said, I am hopefully going to see you the next time, so I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then also being remembered as a nice person, which is a good thing. But yeah, anyway, I am going to see you the next time. Oh, 3 questions that I have of you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a good thing, a really good thing. But yeah, I'm going to see you. And thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, I'll see you.